Hey everyone, PincheAl here, and we're back. And on today's live stream for teaching the next generation of PincheAl's Garage Kids, we're doing brakes. So we're waiting for all the families to show up, but the whole point of this is to get kids involved, excited for working on bikes, on cars. We're working on bikes mainly because there's a lot more, there's less, they don't take as much room. So, what's going on, Wayne? Kevin. Victor.
You gotta be in there though.
Why do I want to call you Kevin? I don't know why.
He could be a Kevin.
He acts like a Kevin. That's why you consume. Like, do you eat a Kevin before you?
No.
I'm nervous.
So again, we're here to teach kids to get excited on cars, get excited on motorcycles, just to get excited to wrench in general. And there's an echo? Okay. Thank you. Thank you for telling me that. Let me see if I can find it. Ah, there it is.
All right, how about now? Is that better? Did I solve the echo problem? All right, next family's here. All right, cool. No more echo. So today we're gonna learn how to do brakes. We're gonna learn how brakes work. We're gonna learn how to flush them and why we have to do that. Okay? Because it's actually super important to know how to do all that because brakes save lives. 100%. I'm not even kidding. So if you don't maintain your brakes, you're gonna have some fun stuff happening to you on the road. Some moments of panic. It's never a good time. All right, Victor. I'll get it, man. I'll get it. See, I know it's Neo. The other kid, I know that's Austin. Why did you know? Ezzy, right? See? Esmikaya?
Yeah.
Damn, I like that name.
It's Esmikaya and Nehemiah, or Nehemiah.
Okay, that makes more sense. Supposedly, there's going to be 2 more kids. Supposedly. Ezzy and Austin. Welcome, gentlemen. Neo. You know what we got to do, though, when you arrive, right? Come on. You got to come over here, guys. Welcome. Nice and firm, man. Squeeze it. Just try to hurt them. That's the goal. That is your goal, is learn how to hurt someone's hand every time you shake it. Right?
How you
Just
doing?
don't do it to me, because my wrist is really weak.
I gotta run real quick and grab an errand to do an errand real quick.
That's
I'll be
fine.
right back.
He's
All
good.
right?
He's good.
Good, man.
Yeah. All right. You two. You guys feed off each other. So we're going to swap each other, okay, today. You're going to be working with Victor. No, actually, you know what? You're going to be working with Neo. You will be working with Victor. Alright? Because last time, no one was focusing. Okay? These two, the entire time. You two. You guys are like best friends, huh? It's cool. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. But we definitely got to focus. Today, we're bleeding brakes. We're going to learn about brakes. We're going to learn how they work and why they do what they do and why they're so important. Why do you think they're so important?
So they stop you from getting into a collision sometimes?
What is the primary goal of brakes?
To slow you down.
To stop. Now, what happens? Yeah. What happens when brakes get really hot?
They glass.
They glass over, but what happens?
They lose all their friction.
They turn slip. They become slippery. Ah, there's my wife. You guys have forms to fill out today, by the way. All right. There's paperwork. Yeah, it's quick paperwork, but nothing crazy. So if you guys want to go one group at a time, while I talk to the kids, so like,
Need a parent.
yeah. Parent. You want to head over there too? While I talk to these guys over here. Okay, so they gloss over. When something gets super hot, especially metal, it literally turns into glass. And it turns into a super, super slippery surface.
Not what you want for brakes.
Exactly.
Especially sand.
Especially sand.
Yeah.
So that's why brakes are made out of different types of metals. Because different types of metals get hot at different temperatures and then they glaze over at different temperatures. This is a very, very important feature because if we're going to take downhill, maybe with some weight with the whole family in the car, you don't want to do what?
Hold on your brake.
If you're driving an automatic, it's kind of harder to do that. But instead of just pushing on the gas, just let go of the gas and let the car slow down on its own, using its own transmission. Okay.
Using the friction of the brakes will slow down.
No, the hill. You're on a hill. You got weight behind that. You ain't gonna slow anything down. Most cars are 2,800 pounds on average. So a very heavy vehicle. It's not gonna slow down going down. It's only gonna speed up. So you use the transmission and the engine. You use it's a feature called what? When you don't push the gas, you don't press the brake. Nope.
Automatic braking?
Nope. It's called engine braking. Okay? Because since you're not accelerating, the engine's slowing down. Because of that, it's actually slowing the car down. It's not the best thing you could do. It actually does damage your car, but it doesn't damage it to the point where you're gonna break it. It's one of those things that you do because it's emergency or because you need to. Okay? It's best example when you go up big mountains, like when you go to like Big Bear, Yellowstone. What's the other one? Summit, Mammoth. Those are when you come down. It's steep. So what people mostly do is they kind of cruise down the hill. They go slow because if you go too fast and you start stomping on those brakes, you're gonna lose them. You're just gonna lose them and it becomes even more dangerous. You're better off just cruising, taking your time, being safe. Now, why am I talking about this? Why is what?
Safety is first.
Yes. Safety is number one because guess what? How many lives do we have?
One.
We get one. We get one chance. We
And
get
you can't
one
do
life.
much if you've lost that life.
Yeah, exactly. Not a video game. You don't get an extra try. You know, you get a one chance. And then you have family in your car. So we got to make sure our tires are good, our brakes are good, our rotors, our calipers, our fluid is also good. Fluid, believe it or not, is extremely important because that's what controls your brakes actually. Okay?
Even if you have brakes, it's pointless. It's pointless if you can't control that.
Correct. So, what's going on? It's all right. It's all right. If you want to head on over, there's some forms to fill out really quick, and we'll get you going. Okay. So, like I was saying, those things all matter. But if one thing doesn't work, all of it falls apart. What's really cool, you can have one brake fail, but all the other ones can still work. Okay? But if your fluid doesn't work, you ain't stopping that car. Period. Alright? So fluid is very, very important because it's a type of hydraulic fluid. Okay? It's not water, it's not oil, it's hydraulic fluid. Another term could be called hydraulic oil, but it's not really oily. It's not lubricating anything. So we call it a fluid. Its whole purpose is to move one thing to another place. But we amplify that movement. Okay? For example, this right here, we're going to do a quick experiment. Okay? Move this back so I can show you this. So, this one's hydraulic. This brake up here is hydraulic. This one back here is hydraulic as well, but it's not as powerful. Okay? This one uses a big reservoir. Okay? This one uses all the force and multiplies your hand strength, puts it over there. If I hold this one down, I cannot move the bike. See that? I hold this one down in the back. I can move the bike. See the difference? And I'm using my leg to hold the brake back here. I can use one finger and not move the bike. Isn't that crazy? That's the difference between really good hydraulics and then simple ones. And the reason why they do that on motorcycles is because you're not supposed to be braking on using the back tire to brake. It's actually very dangerous. It'll skid you, exactly.
Yeah, and also the front wheel should go up because if you stop the back wheel, the front wheel.
No, you'll skid. That's all it'll do. The front one, if you brake really hard, these modern bikes, motorcycles have something called ABS. Have you heard that?
I've heard the term before, but I can't remember
I
what
explained it earlier, early in the class, at the first and second week.
A bump stopper? I don't know.
So, ABS is for emergency stops, technically. It's to control the rotation of the wheel and then into a controlled stop. Okay? If this bike didn't have ABS, if I mashed on, say, the back brake, it would skid. I can lose control. Okay? Old bikes don't have ABS, so guys on motorcycles had to really be careful in turning and stuff like that. There was more focus on it. When you're on dirt bikes, they don't have ABS at all because you can't use it on the dirt because both wheels are going to be turning at different speeds. Okay? ABS, whenever one wheel turns faster than the other, it's going to turn it on. Okay? Because it's like, hey, there's something going on here. You might be in trouble. We got to figure out what's going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this to the brakes. Whenever a motorcycle is braking with ABS, you're going to feel this and it's going to go really, really, really fast. And what it's doing is that it's making both wheels stop at the same time versus one stopping and the other one not stopping. So it's trying to slow both wheels down so they can catch up to each other and they stop at the same time. The reason for that is that it will not put you in a skid. It will help you not lose control. The same thing goes on cars. Okay? Cars have 2-wheel or 4-wheel ABS. Okay? Problem is, they only have one brake pedal. Okay? So what happens in a car when it loses control? Or say when you go into a skid. What's going to happen? All 4 wheels, all the brakes are going to go, they're going to turn on and off, on and on, on and off, and on and off. Until all 4 wheels start to rotate evenly at the same time. Once it does, once it sees all 4 wheels spinning at the same time, it will no longer go pulsate the brakes. And that's how you know you kind of saved your life. Yeah. So all brakes have the same exact system. They have brake fluid, okay? They have a brake line. Believe it or not, the brake lines are super important. Who can answer that question?
What is the brake line like?
The brake lines are actually special, very special.
Is it what the fluid goes through?
It goes through it, but there's something very special about it. Because remember, it's hydraulic, right? So what if the hose was rubber, soft rubber, and I gave it a bunch of pressure? What would it do?
Stretch.
It would balloon. And it actually does happen on cars with old brake lines. When they get really old and the inside of it starts to fail, they literally turn into like little balloons. What do you think happens to your brake pedal? You won't lose it.
It'll be less rubber because it loses pressure.
Kind of. It gets soft. It gets squishy. It feels like you're pressing on a balloon. You ever stuck on a balloon? You know, it's like all soft and squishy, or like a ball that has a little bit of air in it. You can step on it and bounce a little bit. That's what happens when brake lines fail. Okay, they turn into little soft things. And so, if you guys come over here, this is a brake line. All right. What's it made out of right here? Right, the metal line. Okay. But if you see, it goes down and turns into something else. It goes metal to what?
Rubber.
It is rubber, but it's reinforced. These are actually made out of stainless steel. Okay, they're braided metal lines. Why is it braided? Because if it was metal, straight metal, it wouldn't do what?
Go back to its original state.
Or you would,
Then.
and it won't go back. Solid steel that's in a tube, and you bend it, what happens? It collapses. We can't do that. We need a line that does this. It's flexible, right? So what they do, if you actually look at the line. What are you looking at? Well, what's on it that's different than all the other ones? Look at it's a texture. You see that? That's the braid. That's actually a braid. And I'll show you what it looks like when they're not covered. This is a steel braided line. Okay? There's a rubber hose underneath that. Why is that?
So it's elastic? Yes.
So it can bend. The braiding reinforces the rubber so the rubber doesn't. Exactly. So they braid the hose with steel wire pretty much. And so when you mash on the brake, it doesn't expand so your brakes don't turn into sponges. Alright? That's the purpose of a steel braided line. Now on these guys, they made it look pretty. They made it match the bike. It's all black. Most of the time you'll see this steel line. Okay? That's how you know it's a brake line, because it's the only thing on the bike that has this, besides an actual solid metal line like this guy. Okay? What is that? Okay, so this is the brake. What does this do? We talked about this.
Gas?
The gas.
This is the gas.
Yeah,
This is a manual bike. It has a manual transmission.
that's the back one. Oh, wait, no.
The back one's over there. The back.
I'm used to it.
That's the clutch. It's the clutch. That's how you engage and disengage the gears. Okay. This one is cable driven. Some motorcycles have the exact same thing like this. They have a hydraulic system. But this one's really old school, so they put a wire. But the wire is made out of stainless steel. Why? Because it's reliable. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about brakes.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. So the brake line goes all the way down. So what?
The rotor.
Oh,
The brake pad. The caliper.
there you go. What is the caliper?
It's the part.
What's a caliper? The caliper, before I answer the question, what is a caliper? A brake caliper. Kind of. That's actually the brake carrier. Or the carrier.
Even the adults will
No, we get it.
Okay, so a brake caliper is actually a piston. Okay? That's where all the hydraulics actually fall into place. So, you go, so we have our fluid, right? We have this is our plunger. This is what pressurizes the bike. Fluid goes down, all the way down. Goes here, and then right inside of here, this is like a little house inside of here full of fluid. Okay? Underneath it, you see how there's two circles here? Guess how many pistons this bike has? Exactly. It has two pistons. It has two little ones. When you push on that brake, right? That piston is now pressurized to go where?
It pushes the
Out. It just goes out. Doesn't go anywhere. It's going out of the bike.
Can't go anywhere else.
Correct. So that pressure, right? You're pressurizing the pistons, it's pushing it out, okay? And now it's pushing it out to what? What's outside the brake pad? I mean, the brake caliper.
The brake pad.
Brake pads. Okay, there's two of them. There's two brake pads, and they're mashed together between what? The rotor. That's right. So this guy. So pistons come out. You squeeze the brake pad, and then you squeeze the rotor, and that's how you stop. That's it. This guy right here is called a master cylinder. All right. Why is that?
Because it controls the other stuff. No.
You got it. You got it. You said it right. It controls the pistons. Okay? Since this is one system, there's only one cylinder, that is called a master cylinder. If it's a secondary one, like say, I don't have an example here, on a car, like a clutch, this is called the master cylinder, and then on the clutch is another piston that it controls, but it has fluid in it. That one's called a slave cylinder. Okay? It's secondary. It's the secondary portion of the bike, of the system. So, unfortunately, it's not the greatest sounding word, but it's what it's called. Okay? So it's called a slave cylinder because it's secondary to the master. Okay? But on motorcycles, we don't have that. We have a master for the front and we have a master for the rear because it's independent from each other. They're not one system. Okay? So let's go look in the back. You have it over there too, so you guys can go look over there, okay? So on the back, you guys want to look on that one, I pointed out. See the fluid behind you? Right back there, that little reservoir? Okay, that is this up here, all right? But look at the size difference. It's pretty small, puny. It's not meant to do a lot of work, okay? It doesn't use as much force to stop the bike. Because again, it's the rear brake, all right? Rear brakes, you use them at your leisure. You don't use them as your primary, okay? You use them for emergency stops, at a straight line, not on turns, and you use them to get your bike under control when you're slowing down. That's it. No other purpose. If you use them for anything else, you'll lose control. Plain and simple. So, if you follow that line, look at the reservoir. Look at the reservoir. Follow the line. Where does it go? There's this thing right here. Follow it. Where does that line go to? It attaches to something. You see that little thing? This thing right here. Mm-hmm. If you follow that, see that thing? It's a plunger. It goes, so it's this thing. See how this one has that noise? That's a plunger going in and out, in and out. Obviously it doesn't have it attached to the reservoir because it's separate. So they separated this piece from this piece. Okay? So what they did instead is that they separated the two. Fluid goes into it. Look what this does. See this? Look at this lever. Step on that lever over there so you can see it as well. No, the one in the back. Yeah. What is it doing? Where is it pushing into? Yeah. If I push this one down, look at that here. See that? There's a plunger in there. See that? You see that plunger? That's a piston. Just like this one in here. There's a piston inside of here. Okay? You can't see it, but it's in there. It has a little tiny hole inside of it where fluid goes into and goes into the brake line. Alright? Find the brake line that goes to the back. Can you find the brake line?
There's Alonso.
Hey! Come in. You can sit with you can sit over here with these guys. With Austin and Neo. Sit down. Huh? Not time right now. So sit down and listen. Okay, did you find the brake line? Okay, what's it made out of? No? First portion of it. It's made out of metal, right? Okay, did you find the brake line? But where did it start? No, that's where it ends. Nope. Nope. You were like touching it like a second ago. That's the brake line. That metal piece, they're identical on both bikes. So once I push down on this, that piston pushes up, pushes fluid through that line, goes all the way to the back into, how many pistons is that caliper in the back?
Two.
You sure?
I think they're all big one.
Your guess is good, but how can you confirm it's one or two? How do we read it live? How do we read that piston? One circle, that's right. How many circles does that one have? Where's the circle? Show me. Exactly. That's how you confirm that it's a single piston versus a dual piston caliper. Now, a lot of motorcycles or a lot of cars kind of conceal that, okay? They don't have that extra little hoop that shows you there's two circles. But really nice quality calipers will do that for aesthetic purposes, number one. And number two is just to identify if it's a single or dual piston, okay? Some cars, some bikes have up to 6 pistons, okay? 3 on one side and 3 on the other, okay? And that's a very, very powerful brake, all right? That's meant to stop like a truck, an SUV, something high performance that goes really fast, because we want to stop. If we're doing 120, 150 miles an hour, you want to stop. I'm just saying, all right? So the more calipers you have in a car, the bigger the pistons they are, the higher performance the vehicle is going to be in general, okay? Because it's needed. Now, we're only talking about from the factory. Modified is different. But if you bought a car from the factory and it's all like it's got these massive brakes on them, you're buying an expensive car. I'm telling you that right off the bat. That's just a given. Okay? You look at that motorcycle over there, the one right behind Victor. How many pistons and how many calipers does the front brake have?
2.
How many pistons?
4.
It's got 4. Who said 4? You? Victor, yep, it's got 4. It's got a caliper on the left, and it's got like, no, it's all in the front. All in the front. It's got one on the left and one on the right. It's got actually 2 brake calipers in the front of that bike. Why do you think it has that?
It's the more powerful bike.
It's a very fast bike.
Is that the sports bike?
That's a sports bike, yep, that's right. And that's why it has 2 calipers, 2 rotors, but it has one reservoir. But it's a big one.
Yep.
It's a lot bigger. And that's how you know when you're looking at a good bike, a cheap bike, or a high performance bike, or something crazy. You can, just by looking at what they give you from the bike from the factory, is really important. Okay? So now, next thing we need to learn is, remember how we talked about brake fluid? Why it's so important? What color is brake fluid?
Clear.
All right, it's clear. What happens to brake fluid when it starts changing color?
It gets dirt.
It's dirty. There's another thing that happens to it.
It works less well. It becomes
Okay. Brake fluid is hydroscopic, which means
it repels water.
no,
It sucks
it sucks in water. It sucks in air. It will literally suck in water and air through a brake line. Even though it doesn't leak, it will suck it in. It doesn't care. It will get it wherever it can want, because that's what it wants. Okay? So brake lines, brake fluid will end up being aerated, which has air. So when you have air in a brake line, what happens to your brakes?
They don't work as well.
It
No,
becomes
no.
squishy.
They become squishy, just like a balloon. So what's another thing that can fail now?
Brake line.
Brake line is one, which turns into a balloon when it fails. Adding air to a brake line will pretty much end up making your brakes really squishy, very unsafe. Okay? So an easy way to know when your brakes are due for service or your fluid is due for service is by looking at the color.
Like
Okay.
this one looks like it does.
This one's pink.
Yeah.
Dark pink.
Yeah, it's because they're due for service. That's why we're here. Okay? They're due for service because the fluid's supposed to be clear. There's no color to it at all. And now we have brown brake fluid. There's something wrong.
That's dirty.
It's dirty, yeah, it's dirty. It's gonna have air in it. It's gonna have problems. It's gonna get squishy. This one has squishy brakes. It was, yes. Because I bought the bike brand new, but they usually ship them and they sit there for a while. So that's what happens. Okay. So we need to bleed them, and we need to flush them. Okay. Bleeding. What does bleeding mean? Okay. Now, when we bleed, the procedure is, this is not a car, but on a car with 4 brakes, what do you think we have to do? Put the car on the jack stands. Okay. Not scissor jacks. Little makers, good job. Okay, we put them up in the air and we put it on jack stands. We take all 4 wheels off. Which brake line do you think we have to do first? Which one?
Right?
So if we're sitting in the car, we got left, we got right, we have rear left, and we have rear right. Which one do we have to do in the rear first?
Right.
Why? They all have calipers. It's a car. All 4 wheels have calipers. All 4 wheels have brake lines. We have to bleed the furthest wheel away from the master cylinder. Okay? We have to. It's just standard procedure. The reason why, when we step on the brake, okay, air is going to come out, old liquid's going to come out, so we want to flush it all out from the furthest one away. So what's going to happen if I bleed the first one, and then say the front, left, and right, and I go rear to that, more of that junk's going to get pushed back, and it's going to contaminate my other stuff in the back. So the smartest thing to do is go rear right, rear left, front right, and then front left last, because it's the shortest. Actually, the front brake caliper is like literally brake line is like 1 foot, maybe 2 feet long. It's like it's plugged in. Everything else goes another foot and another, the back was like 10 feet almost, and the even further was even more. So we always go the furthest one away from the car, and we crack the line open. We recommend 2 people doing this, okay? All right? One person cracks the line open, has a hose and a bottle, right? And one guy over here, while he's holding the hose and the bottle, one guy over here is pumping the brake. As it's pumping, we're going to look for fluid coming out. We're going to look for bubbles. We're going to look for color, okay? And we're going to look for debris. The 3 most important things we have to look for.
Color, bubbles, and debris.
So, usually when you crack a line open, bubbles come out first. Okay? Second, obviously fluid at the same time. Third will be debris. When all 3 stop doing that, and you just get nice clean fluid, what do? We stop the line. At the same time we're pumping, we gotta fill. Because what do we don't want to do when we add fluid to one?
And the line.
No air. Because when we go like this and we're pumping, we're literally doing a hand pump. Okay? What happens when we run out of fluid? We're just going to suck in
Air.
And what's going to happen to our brakes? Right. It's literally just going to turn into a sponge. And we just ruined our entire day's worth of work by putting air in our brakes. We don't want to do. We don't want to do the job twice. We do it once. We do it right the first time. Okay. Now, there's labels on the top of each reservoir. Can someone tell me what brake fluid is required for this bike? No, go over there. You're already over there. What kind of brake fluid is this required? It's very specific. This one requires .4. Okay. So dot is a specification. Okay. The number is the variation of that specification of the fluid. Understand that. You cannot, okay, I'm telling you this right now, you cannot go to just dot 4 if it says dot 3. Okay? You're allowed to. You understand that. You're allowed to mix the fluids, but you're not supposed to because you're changing chemical composition. It causes problems. So our goal here is to only put dot 4 because they're actually from the factory, both of them come with dot 4. Okay? We have 2 bottles of dot 4 right there on the bottom. One is for one bike and one is for the other bike. We're not mixing brands. So whoever wants to do the one over here, is going to be doing, yeah, they're both dot 4. Okay? Now there isn't motorcycle specific dot 4. Understand that. It's just dot 4 brake fluid. There are some companies that do make them specific for motorcycles. It doesn't make a difference.
They just call it that.
They just want to make some money. They just, you know. All right. So, what do you think we got to do first before we do anything? We got to figure out how to open up these reservoirs.
Yeah.
Okay. These are sealed reservoirs. There's actually a diaphragm on the inside. Okay. So what we don't want brake fluid to do, it's very, very corrosive. You guys know what that means?
It'll burn through stuff.
It'll burn through stuff. It'll burn through one specific thing, not your skin, not the floor,
Your clothing.
not your clothing.
That's good.
It'll literally dissolve paint off of a bike or a car. Okay? It takes a while. So if you got some on the motor, on here, or you got some here, grab a rag immediately and you wipe it down. Okay? I have cleaning supplies somewhere around here. I'll find it in a little bit. I got some rags. What we can do to be safe, we can prep the area. We can always put a rag around here at the bottom. Okay? So if it does spill, it spills only here and onto the rag. That's it. Doesn't go on the ground, doesn't go on the actual sides. Okay? And remember, once we spill it, we have to clean it as fast as we can, because if we don't clean all of it, it'll end up just peeling eventually. It turns into bubbles. And the paint just falls right off. I won't be mad at you guys. This is why they're here. But, you know, I would like to not have my paint falling off my motorcycle. I'm just saying. I'd
It's
like
not going to ruin it.
it will ruin the paint. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it'll ruin the decoration.
It's a brand new bike. Let me damage it, not you guys. But again, I'm not caring. I just want you guys to be careful, because on your own car or your own bike, I bet you would be like, you know, you'd be mad. Let's just be honest. Even if you did it yourself, you would be mad. All right. So I won't be mad. I'll just be frustrated, but don't worry about it. I'll take it on you. I'll take it on you. Just kidding. All right, so we gotta grab some rags. There's actually a bunch over there behind that cooler in the box.
Are there any motorcycles that like have a singular brake system or they use like a
Mhm.
valve or anything?
Most like super bikes have one brake system, and it's proportioning based off like speed and whatnot. So they're actually all computer controlled. So the front will do its main job slowing down, and the back will do a very gradual stop. But primarily they do have, yeah, like super bikes have actually dual front and rear brakes, because you're doing 200 miles an hour in like 1 second. You know, it's insane.
That's what I was wondering. So like when you use those super fast ones, I mean, you just tap it once too quickly and you can.
So they have something called a proportioning valve. And what it does, it depends on like the percentage of proportioning, the front and the rear. It's like all or nothing, or it'll gradually give you something. So it's a safe stop. Yeah, because think about going 200 miles an hour and doing an emergency stop. You're flying off that thing, or you're gonna you're gonna slow down. You know? Yeah, it's pretty insane. If you guys ever get a chance to watch anything MotoGP, watch it. It's super cool watching guys, this little guy on a motorcycle doing 200 miles an hour in like seconds. It's insanely cool. You guys want to watch it for the crashes? The crashes are cool. It's kind of scary, but what's really cool about their gear, the gear that they wear, number one, it's a very special type of leather. Number two, they wear airbags. You know, like your car has an airbag that explodes open and save you? Their suit is actually an airbag. So when they fly off the bike, the suit actually inflates. actually saved their life from hitting the ground. They literally hit the ground and they hit like a balloon. It does not even hurt. These guys will crash at 200 miles an hour. Think about that. Your body is, you know, yeah. But the suits that they wear and the padding that they wear is meant for them to slide. Okay? It's very cool. If you're watching an actual crash in the bike, a lot of those guys know when they're going to crash or something's going to happen like that. They actually deliberately throw their bike sideways so they can slide off instead of just like fly off. It's pretty crazy. It's like pretty gnarly. I've been learning all this stuff lately and it's pretty cool. Everything. The whole bike is painted. So, this guy, we got exactly the same. You know, they have the same thing. We can put this kind of like this. See that? Like that. Okay? So, what do you think we need to open this?
Screwdriver.
What kind? Hold on.
Phillips head.
Good job. Phillips head screwdriver. Remember, there's always different kinds of screwdrivers, but you got to know what kind, not just guess.
Yeah.
Not there. Okay. First or second drawer on the right. You see?
Can I take it off?
Yeah. Okay, see? This will spill onto here. We want it to absorb onto the rag before it touches anything else, okay? So there's 2 Phillips screws. Got it? Whoever wants to do it, just you gotta push down into it and then turn it. There you go. Let one do it first because you don't want 2 hands in the way. You guys want to get into it. Okay, so that one right now, probably not the right screwdriver to use. This one especially not. The head's too pointy. So this guy, yeah, you can use that one. And look up. Got both of them off. What do we do with the screws? What do we talk about? Put them on the table. Or do you think you're going to need them? All right. You trying to let me see.
This is a super gross
Yeah, they all have it. Because it has to, see when I close this, it pressurizes it. Okay? Because there's no real like cap. So we have to figure out a seal. So when we push on the fluid. Hold on guys, hey. Take our time because we don't want to drop anything. Because getting them dirty makes it worse. Or doing that, dropping the screw. Where's the other one? Okay. So we want to go grab another rag. And we're going to put the diaphragm and the lid on top of that, okay? Upside down. Okay?
Slavics have made all those mistakes.
It's okay. Yeah, believe me, you learn from someone else's mistakes. You don't learn how to make new ones. It's okay. Don't worry, just listen.
I know.
Don't play with you.
Can you just put the rag in
No,
there?
no, put it on the table. So you guys can use the same rag. We just put them together. So pick the lid up and take it out like this. Put it on the table like that, on the rag. Same thing with this. This is a diaphragm. Okay, can you see that, Alonzo? Careful, see? You gotta be careful with these things. And then this is a big rubber seal. Okay? So we're gonna grab it up, pull it back, and put it on the rag. Okay? Go for it. Now, if you guys want to come over, can you see this? It's hard. Don't touch the. Be careful not to lean on the bike because you'll tilt it over. Can you see that? Look at the fluid. It's pretty dirty. It doesn't have debris in it, which is good. but you'll see it has like stuff in it. Okay? You see it, Papa? You see it? That lid goes over there. We don't want it to fall down and scratch. It's just tape. Just rip it off. The color? Don't put your finger in it, but that's the color. Okay.
It's like a brownish.
We don't want that color anymore. We want to change that into a clear fluid. Okay? So this line goes down to the caliper. Okay? So go find your caliper. You're going to see a rubber bushing on the side of it, like a little cap.
Like which caliper is
The
it?
one in the front, because that's what we're working on. There's a rubber cap on there.
No, I see it. This one.
Pull it off. Okay? What does it look like? Once you yank it off, what is it?
This one's like connected with like.
It's okay, you don't have to yank it off, just take the cup cap off. So you can see.
No, I mean, is this the right one?
It's the only rubber piece that's there.
This one's the
So you see this? What do you think this is called? It's a bleeder screw. Okay? This screw has a hole inside of it. So when you loosen it, fluid goes through. When you tighten it, fluid no longer comes out. Okay? So we need a water bottle. So look for a water bottle and 2 pieces of rubber hose. There's one there, there's one down there in the ground. Okay, give me that hose. Water bottles are going to be out here somewhere. Look around. Go hop on, Papa. Nothing. We need 2 of them. Look for 2 water bottles. You see? Yeah, that's it. This is called a bleeder screw. Okay, so this hits the bottom. It won't let fluid come out. Once you break it a little bit loose, fluid just flows right through. Okay? You need one of these. Put it on top of these. Okay. Mash. Okay. Got 2 of them? We need one more.
Oh.
Here. Give me that one. The hose. We're going to put this on here. And you want to push it in. And see why you need 2 people to do this?
Yeah.
So one guy is holding and one guy is filling. And you want it as low as possible. You want it,
Austin, you want to hold it? Sure. Yeah, I'll hold
so you want to see how that's like that? You want it like that. Give me that bottle. This is for you guys. Oh, you got one already? Here. This is all solid. Put it on the ground.
And then I'll hold it.
Okay? Yeah, you want on the ground. That's fine. Put the hose all the way to the bottom. Okay? I'm sorry.
You want me to start pumping?
Not yet. How are you going to pump it if it's not open?
Oh,
Gotta open the valve.
with the wrench.
Alright, so hold on. Here's a special wrench for these.
Let's get it
Bleeder
all
wrench.
fill it
We
up.
gotta confirm if we have a couple different sizes. But,
And up there.
I think it's an 11 or 12.
Not the whole bottle. We're all gonna do
That's an 11. What's up?
Make that for?
How they make what?
How they make that for?
They make what for? I don't understand.
Dot for. How do they make it?
No, I don't know how they make dot four fluid. That's not my thing.
Can we look it up when we go inside?
I also left that.
Hold on.
Esters or polite glycogen with corrosion and oxidation inhibitors. How can it work? Lots of combinations of glycol and glucose and esters and stuff.
it right
Seems
there.
interesting.
Okay. So it's an 11, but I don't have an 11 wrench, unfortunately. Because no one ever does. No use for an 11.
Except right now.
Except for now.
That's an interesting thing.
Alright, so you guys are going to watch these guys do it really quick, and then I'm going to give you guys a different way of doing it. Because you guys don't have the same wrench. So, but I do have an 11 socket that you guys can use. For the older kids, you guys have this, okay? And then what you're going to do, I'll show you. Come on. So what you're going to do is you're going to
What do we do?
hold on, I'll show you guys in just a minute. Alright, so see how I turn it by hand? You're going to have to do that until it stops coming out. That's how you guys stop it. So one guy is sitting here looking at the water, the fluid. Okay? Your job or his job is to pump and fill. Okay? You okay with that? Okay. So your job over here, you need to turn it to the right to tighten it. Remember, righty tighty, lefty loosey. Ooh, lefty loosey. Okay? So what you want to do is turn it to the left so the fluid comes out. Okay? So pump it a little bit.
Not yet.
Nice and slow, not fast. Look down here. Pay attention to the hose. Yeah, keep doing it. You go a little faster than that. Yep, there you go. You fluid? Okay. Your goal is to hold on to that. And then you turn it to the right, like that. And it should get hard for him. Did it get hard? Okay. Just because, no, you don't push hard. All we did was close it. All we did. So, I'm going to open it. He's going to pump slow. Stop pumping though. Where's your brake fluid? You have to pour. See how this is already pretty low? Yeah, that's what you're not supposed to do. What are you talking about? The first thing you did is stop airing the line. Alright? See how I poured that? Be careful because you can this is really like oily and it won't go anywhere it touches. So make sure it goes in here. Alright? You wanna fill it as much as you can. There. Okay. And when it gets about halfway, you repeat. Got it? No, don't close any valves yet until we turn the fluid to a different color. We want the changing of the color. Yeah. You and him have to start working. Did you open the valve?
Not first.
Okay, then it's easy. Yeah, it's open. Pay attention to the bottle. Okay. For you guys, you're going to turn it. Okay, now it's open. Okay. You're going to hold this like this. Neo, Alonzo, come up here. So look, pay attention to the, you should see fluid coming out of there. You see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me this. Same exact thing. We don't want this to start sucking air in. So we want to fill this up.
You want me to stop pumping?
Not yet. Okay. Now pump, but not too fast. Nice and slow. Okay? The reason why we go slow because we don't want to suck in what?
Air.
That's right. Air is the enemy in this scenario, alright? We don't want air. Okay? Come here. Pay attention to what's going on here. Every time you pump it, it goes further down. Is the fluid coming out?
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, right? See how much slower this is? It's going down slow? You gotta add a little bit more fluid. And then you stop, and then you keep pumping. It's getting clearer over here, but you gotta keep going. That's still burn up. You gotta fill that up. It's already pretty low. There you go. See how slow and tedious this is?
Yep.
It's not the fastest thing in the world. But it's the smartest thing you can ever do to any bike or any car. Because this will actually refresh the way your brake feels. This really helps your brakes come back to life.
Yeah, wait.
Hold on, what are you doing?
So,
Okay, hold on. Hold on before we spill a bunch of fluid. There's a hose in
it did?
there. Hold on. Put your hand. Take your hand off. Push it back in. Okay. Hold on to this now. Turning this. See how we just got air in there? See the air at the bottom? Yeah. Can you pump? Yeah, we got bubbles. That's all we got.
When after bubbles, debris will come in.
Maybe not. This is a new bike. We shouldn't get any debris at all. It's more just the color change.
Is that a good thing?
Yeah, that's a good thing because that means there's no rust in the lines. That means there's no water in the lines. Because water is what kills these things.
And causes rust.
It causes rust and causes debris. What's going on? That's fine. No, leave the hose all the way down. Because we gotta pay attention to the air.
Yeah, sometimes.
Go all the way in.
Yeah, and it gets cut.
There you go.
That's so, since rusted so dirty.
Yeah, it will.
Technically two,
So,
because it does push the fluid back
never
in.
want this.
But like here was,
Correct.
yeah, here you can't pull it back down.
Mm-hmm. Did we come up?
No, I just set that there.
It's okay.
Loosen down and there's a pin.
It's okay. If it does, we can clean it off immediately. It's not a big deal.
There's some right here. And I need to, I don't know.
Pressurize. You can go. You can reverse flow.
Yeah, 'cause I've seen the little tools for that.
Can you?
Yeah, but your risk of like shooting fluid out is pretty high. You know, because they're like 10, 15 psi. I would.
Yeah, 'cause I've seen like the one person leaving.
Yeah, those are amazing for cars. Like cars just do the
Remember
job.
when you decided to use to clean it up, so you don't get it on here.
All right, how we doing?
Here, just clean this.
Okay. Like I said, we have chemicals to clean that with. Ooh, look how low. We got low quick.
Already?
You didn't suck in air though.
Yeah.
We're good, Austin?
Yeah. That's fine.
Nope. So the fluid, if you notice, it's still brown, but it's clear. It's a lot more. It's not cloudy. You can see right through the bottom, like it's like super clear glass.
Tinted glass.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good description.
Yeah, my fast play is.
All right. Now you'll notice there's a line in there.
Tinted glass.
See the line inside of there?
It's low again already.
Already?
Yep.
Like the line on the bottom?
No, I'll show you. There's a fill line. Okay.
We're going slow, but it keeps going down.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
I mean, look at how much it's already filled this up.
So, so the fluid, if you notice, there's a line in there. Okay. Yeah, but your risk of like shooting fluid out is pretty high. You know, because they're like 10, 15 psi. I would. All right. Now there's a fill line. You know what a fill line means?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Fill it to that
To
line.
that line. That's exactly right.
Like how we
You
did
see it?
the-
There's, hold on.
Yeah, to the
See that?
when we
See
did the
this line
oil
right
change.
here? That's a
the,
fill line.
There's a
Fill
certain
it,
like there's
fill
the
it
middle,
past
the
that,
bottom, and the
and
top.
then bleed it.
And remember we have to go to the
Okay?
middle.
No, there's
When you get it to that line, let go of the brake.
Oh,
and
there
it
was no
closes that
fill. You
valve.
just had to
Got
fill
it?
Yeah.
Around there. We have to estimate based on
All right. So we passed the line. We got to go fill it back up. You got it? And then what we got to do is bleed it, okay, until we get to that line.
What?
Hold on, don't pump it right
We
now.
got to the line
Okay. So look for the line, okay, when you get to that. Alonzo, pay attention to tell him when to stop. When you get to that point, you need to close that valve, all right, Austin?
What now?
right there. Close that. After two this.
You're like almost there.
After take this one, then I have to really fast. Yeah.
That does.
Yep, close the valve. You're gonna take the hose off. Okay. This one, you gotta put that valve on this. Take that off. This one off. Hold on. We'll do it the other way, alright? Did you close that line?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get the wrench, take the hose off. Grab that, put that in there. Hold it. And we're gonna go quick, and that's it. Nothing hard, it just goes on a little bit. Okay? Watch out. I'll show you what this one has a tint to it. This brand of fluid has a small tint to it.
Oh, I was like.
Okay, so look, that's it. They don't go on super tight. Pump it. Is it hard? It's hard, huh?
It's gonna get harder.
No, you can't even go all the way down.
Yeah.
Close, pump it.
I can't go all the way down.
Yep. That's how we know we bled the brakes perfectly fine, because you can't go all the way to the bottom. So now we have to reverse install what we just took out. We'll grab the stuff that we took out and reverse install it. So it's the rubber seal first.
This?
Goes down like that, careful. Don't push it fast. You just let it sit down on there. The plastic seal next. Okay. Set it aside so it doesn't fall down. The metal cover. Now this is backwards. Turn it around. And then the two screws that go on top of that. You go on pretty, don't put them on too tight, but they go on snug, all right?
Right there.
Then, since you spilled a bunch of fluid onto this guy right here, we need to make sure we clean that. That one's gonna, and same with you, on that caliper, it has to be cleaned off.
I use the rag on it, but I could clean it.
No, we're gonna use carburetor cleaner right there. So grab that can down there, Papa. Okay, Austin,
Yeah.
you're gonna come over here.
Okay.
You're gonna put the rag underneath here like that.
Okay.
And then this stuff is really strong, so I don't know how you guys don't mind smells, but okay, it smells great. I love the smell, but some people don't like it.
I think it smells like cars.
Okay, and what we're gonna do is.
I like that. It smells like a.
So now you want to wipe.
That's on video.
Now you want to clean
Yeah,
that
I
off.
like that.
Okay, clean it all off.
Doesn't really like have a smell.
I like
Oh,
it.
it's a strong smell. It's just.
I like it.
It's a weird smell.
I like
You know these are your kids. You know, like, oh my god, it smells good.
I like it. It smells like alcohol.
I know, yeah.
So they
Kids love the smell of brake cleaner, by the way, guys. You guys are
It
watching.
basically just smells better smelling hand sanitizer. It smells way better than the scuff.
It smells like marker.
Which, yeah, anything smells better than
It
Scott.
smells like
Alright.
It smells
So
like
this
marker.
stuff dissolves anything that's an oil, okay? Or that's fluid based.
Dissolves up and stuff.
Okay? So like here, since we have a little bit of fluid still here, you can go two ways. We can go on the rag, watch out, and then just wipe it down or all around.
Smell
Yeah.
school supplies.
Alright? So come on over here, guys.
That's what I was thinking. Like, it just smells like a stronger.
Come on, you're gonna be wiping. So we're gonna be spraying.
I love the smell. Honestly,
Yeah, so if you have a cut on your hand, you'll find it immediately.
it kind of reminds me of how Neo smells.
That smells
Wipe
like
that sucker down.
what? What was me? And maybe like I'll blame it on you.
It's to adjust.
I'm looking at the camera right now.
It's to adjust preload based off the weight. It doesn't adjust height. It just for weight.
Not enough.
Smell of hand sanitizer.
Well, on other ones, I mean, you have ones you can drop them. You just drop off.
Wait. You're supposed to see the YouTube channel. PincheAl Garage. What? PincheAl Garage. Okay. I might need you to
It
get
looks
a piece
so
of paper
good.
and write that.
All right, guys.
first
Hey,
one down.
over here. Come on. You guys are getting distracted. All right. So now these guys. Right? It's okay. We can just toss these. What? Okay. So this stuff, do not spray it in your face or in your direction. You do not want this in your eyes. You don't want this on your hands. This stuff burns, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It finds your cut pretty quick. Okay? So back in the day, this stuff used to have chlorine in it. It was chlorinated brake cleaner. What do you think that caused? Cancer!
Really? Some nice lymphomas on here.
But I'll tell you what though, they clean stuff pretty dang well.
Well, you pour acid on something.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't like it, but this is good stuff. You want your brakes clean?
Just like wear gloves.
You know,
Or just
a lot of old cars use a different type of material in them. You guys know what that is? It cause a lot of people cancer. Starts with an A.
aluminum. Asbestos.
Asbestos.
The stuff they use in like the 40s houses that you
Yep. The material when it goes airborne or you touch it for a long time, literally give you cancer. But for brakes, was the best thing in the world to stop any vehicle.
We don't like it, but brakes will.
Yep. Funny thing, all commercial vehicles, large vehicles, all their brakes are either asbestos based or they're air based. That's it. Because you cannot stop a 20-ton rig with normal brakes. I'm just telling you that right now. Yeah, it'd take like an hour and you would probably murder whoever in front of you. You know?
Yeah,
Not even
it's
kidding.
probably already okay to carve.
Yeah.
Carve.
So, what time we got? My watch is off.
It's 6:43.
6:43. We have enough time to do rear brakes. You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We have enough time to do some rear brakes. All right. So rear brakes are going to be really tricky. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
Yep.
It's blocked by
It's going to be blocked. It's not going to be the greatest ones to do.
Unfortunately, we can't use the.
And you have to use your foot to pump it.
No, you can still use your hand.
I'll just use my foot.
Wait. Yeah. It's. Can I do it this way? Yeah.
Okay. So hold on. We have to figure out how to do this stuff.
Okay.
All right. So for you guys, I might have to do the filling, and then you guys will have to do the pumping, and someone's going to do the brakes. Okay, in the back. You guys, oh, it's going to be tricky because you have a special. Move this back. Spell. You have extra special because guess what's in the way of this one?
This ginormous bar.
Yeah. So in this scenario,
Never mind. I'm glad.
so because of this one,
So, guys,
this
let's
is
like
like not
figure out how to do
gonna
this.
use
yeah, you know, you're right. Like, it's literally just walk by
On both this
Yeah, like, it's
and
kind of
hold it
Oh.
and pour at the same time.
We're special too then. Yep, we are very special.
So in other words, multitask.
It's
What's the bleed about, Dad? What's the bleed about?
But guess what's even more sucky?
don't know where that is.
Who's gonna pay attention to the brake bleed back here, and who's gonna be pumping?
We already know where the one is.
And pour, and someone over here has to bleed.
Yeah,
Pay attention to the bleed.
Found the bleed about back here.
Yeah. So the leader is basically, oh, the candy's there.
See how inconvenient this is?
No, the candy's there.
See, just so you guys know, this is the reason why
Yeah,
shops
we can use
charge
this.
so much to do some of this work.
Like the milk funnel
Okay.
that he made
If you had more people, it'd be nice.
Yeah, but a lot of shops, it's a one-man crew to do one job for one vehicle.
You're going to be doing
So we have to learn tricks, of what we call tricks of the trade. Got that? So in this scenario, what we're gonna do is we're gonna fill, hold,
This is just
pump.
my first
While
day.
someone else over here is bleeding.
You probably already know about us.
When it gets too low,
No, only cars.
over here maybe,
Can I tell you something though?
fill.
Yeah,
They
same
haven't done
I
brakes
know.
either.
You don't do it at the same time. You stop
I used to
one,
know,
and do the other.
Not a lot, but fair amount. When I was in third grade,
Slow
I
things
researched
down.
it
That's what you're
stuff,
supposed to
but
do.
now I kind
You
of
understand?
forgot
It's
a
a
lot.
motorcycle.
I'm not
You're
really
driving this and you
into,
mess
like,
up.
motorcycle.
This is
See
the
how I
fault.
Only like old school
You.
ones.
Right? Guess whose life is on the line?
Like, see, like a bike.
Someone else's.
Yeah,
Because if you run into a
you know
car,
how you said you
guess
can
who's
skip?
gonna win?
The
The car is gonna win. So
Yeah, I
we're
don't
better
use
off
the
taking our time,
back brake.
No,
not rushing how to
dude,
do stuff,
the back
okay?
brake on a
not
bike, you
rushing.
use that.
No,
Sends you
fill
flying
it up
with
to
the
the
front
point where
brake.
it's safe. You
And the back brake at the
fill,
same time
let's
works.
go over.
Well, the
Pump,
front
pump, pump,
brake
pump,
will
and
just
go
send
low.
you flying as well.
These are, whoever's over here,
But
will
the
pay
back
attention to the
brake,
valve.
both of them are not
And you're
really
just gonna rinse and
ethical, but if
repeat.
you do it at the same time.
Once you guys think it's
It
clean
does
enough,
feel pump the back brake a little bit. Like,
Yeah, for,
Fill it up,
yeah,
all
for,
the way down to
the
like-
back brake.
and this is
Back
that.
brake. I always go like this.
Right?
Slow.
Close the valve.
well, you can just
Put the
squeeze
lid
it
back
a little
on.
bit.
Yeah, not.
And now
Yeah, I always,
by hand.
and then I let it off. But I don't ever squeeze it. Because if I do that,
I am
you
terrible.
All right.
would just go.
Now you guys over here.
We already found them.
Yeah,
Okay, so you guys over here is going to be a little bit more. It is tricky, but not that bad.
We're special
Okay.
too.
So find your tools that you need. Again, you guys are the older kids, so you guys should be able to figure this out on your own.
yeah, we found the bleeder.
Okay, pull the rubber off.
I got it. You.
You know what it is. Why you gotta ask me?
But, right? Down in there. Can you guess what mine there? You go.
Square back.
No, my other one.
Okay.
My first one.
Hold on, hold on. I gotta.
We need 0 and
Hold on.
Will
Okay.
this work?
Hmm?
Do the exact same thing we did for
You think that's gonna fit?
put it right here.
Good job. Good job.
That's up the right.
Big brain right there, man.
Ginormous one.
Mm-hmm.
Bigger than
So what we want to do is test it to see if we can fill it without taking that off. Okay? So we're going to open the lid
I'm not gonna.
and look what's inside of it. It's exactly like the other one, huh?
That one.
There's a diaphragm. Check that out.
The exact same.
But just tiny.
Yep.
It's a little diaphragm.
Like that one
Okay.
there.
Why do we need a diaphragm? It's to maintain. That's right. It'll work, but the bricks will get spongy.
And
Pretty
then
much what happened.
It'll be like this.
Mm-hmm.
squeeze it.
Is this like an OBD2
That
kind
is
of
some
fork? Looks like, or what's that?
That's actually just a battery tender.
This one's definitely not going to be that.
Hey, there's a whole thing of Allen wrenches right there. Just grab the big thing of Allen wrenches instead of finding a socket. Okay, okay.
Do motorcycles utilize anything like
Yeah, they have OBD2 ports, but not. They're not called for these bikes. It's called a Euro 5 because they're European. But Other companies, they have their own style OBD2 readers. Unfortunately, motorcycles are not standardized at all.
Oh, really?
There's no standard in it. So if you're going to get into diagnosing bikes and repairing bikes, you have to literally buy a computer for every different brand of bike. It really sucks. And what sucks even more, the 2021 version of this bike, identical in every single way except the computer. So there's a Euro 3 for the year before, and then a Euro 5 for the year after. Completely different.
Are the codes at least like by brand and feel like the same codes? And
Yeah, they're all generic codes, but I gotta buy two computers if I have two bikes. It's so stupid. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like,
that Apple approach. Yeah, you're locking in.
yeah.
Apple. Whatever, I can't remember the name.
And then again, it's just because the DMV and all the federal regulations, they don't have like a standard, so they don't have to enforce any laws besides smog. As long as they pass smog, you can do whatever you want with them. And even then, you don't smog them. Once you own it, you can literally take all the smog equipment off, and it doesn't matter after that. Makes them faster too. So, look at this. I can actually pour it in right there. See that? Okay. All right, hold on. We have to open the valve. Where's the wrench? Mhm.
It was over here last time I saw it.
Someone has the wrench. Oh, I put the wrench over here. Okay. All right, you got it ready? Well, we gotta take this off first, okay? And we put it back on. Hold on to that. Hold on to it. Okay. Put it back on there. Hold on to it. Be careful. Make sure you're holding on to that container. I don't want it to drop.
Let you know.
I can stay there. I can stay there.
container.
Okay. So we're gonna open the valve. Hey, pay attention, or you can go inside. Bring this up closer. You don't want this to fall, okay? So right there. Now pump. Nice and slow. No.
Slow,
Too
slow,
fast.
slow, 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 slow.
Okay, keep going. Okay, pay attention to the fluid level. Fluid level.
It's getting low.
Okay. So now what we gotta do? Hold on. Pay attention where the holes is. Look where the hole's at. So first get it as close as you can before you tilt it over. Get it closer. Closer. There you go. Now. There you go. Fill it all the way up to the line. Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. There you go. Now take it out. Now pump it, buddy. Nice and slow. Nice and slow.
That one's not broken yet.
Oh, we need the socket for that one.
Alright, it's definitely happening.
Okay? You're paying attention to this, making sure they're getting fluid out.
We're getting a few drops at a time.
Yep. It's going slow, but it's working.
Oh, this is much
Way
smaller.
too fast will do that.
Thank you, Royal Enfield. Gave me two different sockets. Hold on.
Oh, there it is. Oh,
Start filling it.
it's just empty.
Don't let it air out.
Communicate with your team, guys.
You guys need to talk. Like him.
It's good.
Right, yep, that's good.
Slow it down. Remember that.
A little, not so much.
It should probably be like a 6 3/4 or something
I'll keep track of
silly
this.
like that.
And
I bet you it's an 8.
oh,
It's like for like a baby.
whoa.
Let's see who you can get.
So you gotta tell them to stop when it's getting low.
Alright.
Every time he pours it in,
Turn it.
stop and then
Open the lid.
Nope,
Press it.
oh, buddy.
Lucy. Everything's lefty Lucy.
Unless you have a weird bolt.
Yeah.
The same panel with different screws. You're gonna ask her, why is it different screws? Because it needs it.
I was jumping in backwards and I maybe scraped it across the.
Okay. Hold on to that. No, hold on to that.
It literally tore a hole in the screen.
I got you.
I was running and got my second off just
Here you go.
pushed next to my bike and I just did a rock all the way over.
Okay.
Well, yeah, my
Start,
thumb.
start pumping. Hold and pump.
We need some kind of like.
Pay attention to this.
Oh.
Getting air out of it or what?
Oh, skin. Yeah, I was
Yep.
peeling a nail and then where it goes under right here.
All right, fill it, fill it. Go all the way to like almost all the way to the top on that one. Get it as close as you can. There you go. Take your time on pouring it.
Good job.
Take your time. Oh. Guys, keep it. Look, hey.
Wait, look how long you go like that.
Yeah, that's.
Yep.
Your arm's not even straight, Peter.
Alright.
Pay attention.
Pause button.
Remember, this is your job. That is his job.
Oh,
He has the better job.
There we go. Go. It's definitely getting clearer, but it's still hot. So you still need. Still need to pump it.
Okay. Good job.
We're doing-
Pumper.
We're doing good. We're doing very well.
There you go.
I'll let it get a little lower. Just
Try to go a little bit slower than that.
That's a keep pumping. Whoa.
There you go.
Alright. Pause.
You try to keep your arm relaxed.
I'm a supervisor.
Good job. Management.
Yep, he's our manager for everything to make sure
Okay.
everything's on
Keep
smooth.
going. See, look at the colors already changed on that.
Yeah,
Yeah, look at that compared to this.
Yeah, it is. Huge difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just making sure it empties enough.
Yeah.
If you get into the light, you
Yeah.
see how much stuff
Yeah.
it is.
Come on. Keep pumping. It ain't gonna.
You kiddo. That's you.
You're the mean man pumping.
And then when we're done, we're gonna take a group photo. You guys okay with that?
Yep. I would love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
You okay?
Alright.
Because we're gonna start a fundraiser to get their uniforms.
Uniforms.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, shop uniforms, man.
It's official.
Yeah. We're all gonna have our names on it.
You probably can
Sure, yeah.
relax your arm.
Keep pumping.
Yeah. So when I turn on my exhaust, it burns the oil right into my muffler.
Neo is the
That's a lot of oil.
Well, oh my gosh, it cuts so
Yeah,
clear
then
now.
you wouldn't want to do that at all.
Ah.
Yeah.
So what's the color of the fluid now? It's nice and clear, huh?
Yeah.
Keep pumping.
No longer like reddish
It's not
brown. Look
nice
at
and clear yet. It's still brown. Very good. Yeah, it's getting a lot.
Yep.
We're doing just
So what do you think we should do to clear that out?
trying to.
So
I
we
just
get
had
to almost to the bottom. Okay?
nice. Yeah, boulders.
Yeah. We're gonna flip it upside down.
I had this
Do you want me?
And you don't pump it
I
anymore.
had water clean.
Keep going. Okay, you win.
Nice. Oh, where you make ice and make turn
Go.
water.
There it is. All right.
Was it oily,
No.
Boba? Was it oil
Yeah.
and water? Was it edible?
No, we pump this like
What we wanna do is get all that.
Was it edible?
Bottom there.
Oh, don't go so fast. Nice and small. Wait, did you eat it?
put water in the cup
Pour
and
it
then
in.
Oh, I don't. No. There we go. Pause.
Okay.
And
Now, fill
okay. I
it
thought
back
you were
up before
talking
you
like
do
the
anything
little
else.
hobbits. Now it's dirtier now that I put this in. It's gonna take a few more times.
Remember that one had
Deep.
the tinge to it?
Yeah. It's got a little bit more of like a less complete clear coat. Well, come over here. Look. I feel like
The goal here now is to make sure no air got in this line.
Yeah, I think that might be
Get drained
good.
out.
Still
Make
one
sure
more
no bubbles come out. Saw that?
Just in case there's still more.
You gotta use all the bubbles.
Just one more
Huh?
fill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
look. Oh, that's
Yeah,
completely.
you got air in the line.
Oh yeah.
Now you gotta
But
keep
we need to
pumping
do one more.
until it stops doing
Just
that.
in case.
Yeah, just to get everything. Because we've done it a lot. Like, look at
That's-
filled up with
That's no
almost-
bueno, but we can fix that. Don't worry about it. All right. How we doing over here, guys?
Almost done. Yeah,
Doing
also
one more time.
because this has more of like a clearish yellow.
Okay.
So it's we're pretty.
Fill it.
Yep. And I think it's not
Is it what?
Okay, so go all the way to almost. Oh, oh, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Drain. Yeah, now pump it.
Are you talking to me?
No, you go.
Keep going. I'll tell you when to stop, okay? And don't pump it anymore when I tell you. You have to go halfway. Keep going. No, to the middle. To the middle, in between both lines.
Yep, we were doing that.
Right there. We're good right there. Don't pump anymore. Okay? So now, this is the one that belongs to that. Hold on. Before you do that, you want to turn this. Right? Pull it out. Up, like that. So the fluid doesn't drain on you. We're going to tighten that sucker up. Now put the lid back. Here's the lid to that. This clicks, so when you turn it, don't turn it too hard. Make it turning nice and slow, and you'll feel it kind of click almost. When you get to the bottom, it should feel like almost a click.
Yeah.
Yeah? Now pump the brake, make sure it gets nice and hard.
Oh yeah.
You can't push it.
Pretty good, huh?
And then for the oil, so nobody
Can you see?
spills it.
Watch your hand. Yeah, that's a good brake. Good job, man. Hey, Knuckles. Good job, supervisor. Austin.
Junior.
Neil. Junior supervisor.
You're the first one.
No, I'm like
Manager.
CEO or I'm foreman.
Oh, never
Shop
mind.
foreman.
Oh, never mind.
Overseer.
CEO,
Yeah,
not
overseer.
supervisor.
All right, so next step, you guys gotta don't forget, clean up your mess.
Yep, we gotta clean all this liquid off.
So, hold on. What do we gotta use to spray?
Yep. Okay, can I spray?
No, I don't want you guys to get back up, guy.
Or do you want?
Okay, so we're gonna now wipe it down as best you can, okay?
So good.
That's not. I don't like
It's such a nice one.
Okay, then we still gotta do the back one.
Better than freshly baked cookies. It smells like a very bad soap. I know, I've always
Clean that
liked the
off.
smell of
Clean that off.
of that. It smells like paint at least for some
Pretty much.
It smells like hand sanitizer.
So that's pretty dang clean.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's like the perfect example. Is hand sanitizer. Or just a stronger, more.
It's probably
Oh, it's a more sensitive smell. Like it makes your nose tingle more than hand sanitizer. I smelled it before. It
If you
smells
like gaming, check out my channel, Baseball and Games.
like an old school, I don't know, TDI car.
Just a bit more, and then like 1 or 2 pumps, and then we'll close the valve, okay?
Have you seen the new electric buses? Wait, there's an electric bus.
Yeah.
Like
What?
couple pumps
Yeah, no electric.
okay?
Comment if you can check it
Oh,
out.
that's so new. Diesel's better. What did you just say?
Nothing.
What did you say? Hey, focus. Did you say Minecraft? Hey, Neo. No being. No. No being to work.
I said Minecraft.
And then when we take this off,
That's gonna ruin the
pull
video.
back, towards you, bend towards
They
you.
can see you out there.
The fluid drains into the wall, okay? You don't want it to spill random.
I want to smell this one.
Look at that. So,
You get to do the next thing. Junior supervisor. So then you can test it out. You haven't done really anything. We wanted to try. Me and Neil and Tim. We've done pretty much everything. You
Yeah, we have almost done everything.
and him? Yeah.
move your hands.
Almost all of
You
us.
did the pump? What did you just say?
I just said that. My boy
Okay. So I'll hold this, so you put that screw back in.
Yeah, okay.
Start off with your hand.
I don't know.
So while you guys are doing that, you want to
Make
like
sure it goes in at least like 4 or 5
grass on the
Push
ground?
in a little more.
Here. If I'm staring at I'm gonna clean this a little bit extra.
Well, we might still need this, maybe.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do next?
Well, whatever we do, you can try that.
You have it right. Is it like this?
What? I said whatever we do next, he can do it. Or you can do it.
Okay.
I thought you were Neil.
Oh, turn, take it out, turn, take it out. You're
Scout
here
around.
for 20 hours, man.
Just make sure everything is all.
Okay.
If there's no
Everything-
screws
I'll
or
have this one
something that
to
would
plastic. We'll bolt it on the
I
plastic.
would
so we're gonna
think
be-
because I mean,
It's not, that's it. Okay.
I think we're good.
Yeah, look, it's like a
So now,
Yep.
I guess we'll just.
Okay, next step now is to clean the area that we just filled with brake fluid.
Yep.
Where's that spray?
Oh,
Alright.
you know we got like 10 spots. Yeah. So I've had these plus 5 other 10 use. All right. So while we're doing this, what are we?
Mark that down, buddy.
I mean, we're not gonna like.
Right there, or
Like, I mean,
good.
Hey.
then both of us.
I'd say I'm fine.
Yeah.
I don't really like it, but I don't.
I got the master
That's
sword
good.
and then I died. And then I deleted my will. I felt sad. And I also did it.
Got it?
You accidentally just went through. I
Wait,
right after
I
the
thought,
I
have you ever done your 1 year hardcore war? You press the play button, you try pressing play button, flip, play button.
Is it you rested your arm on this?
Yeah, I did that when I was younger.
You sure all that comes off?
It had 8 houses.
Well, no, because when you have moisture on your skin,
Yeah.
when you put it on an exhaust, you literally can permanently stain
A
the exhaust.
hotel, like everything.
With oil.
Basically a city. I built basically a city in my crib. I deleted the entire place. Guess what I did? I did hardcore and I found a
AKA America.
Yours?
That's what it's
So
called.
I just deleted the because I know what that means.
It's not dead.
Yeah. Anytime I see fog,
That is also
that's not
accurate.
because I either see red
Not that
eyes or
logic.
something weird. How are you guys doing over there, Eddie?
So we want to take off as much of the oil that we use on our skin on here because I do not want to see your skin on my body.
I remember this. We used this, I think, last time. And I'm still wondering what is saying in mine.
All right. All right, guys, gather around over here. Not yet. We're going to talk about what we just discovered because see that? Wait, Alonzo, see that? Okay. Yeah.
See at the bottom how it's really gross and then near the top it's a little better.
That's my point. This is a lot cleaner. This is a newer bike. Came out of this one.
Yay.
This bike is a year old. Only a year old. See that? This is why we got to do our fluid as often as possible. Traditionally, most mechanics or shops will recommend 20 to 30,000 miles before you flush it. All right? Remember that. That's on a car. On a motorcycle, everything's a lot smaller. So I would cut that in half. About 10 to 15,000 miles.
Yeah, half as many wheels.
Not half of it. It's just half the amount of fluid. Everything's a lot smaller. When we work on something smaller, it gets used a lot more. Okay?
It takes more debris to saturate a bigger thing.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. So, what did you guys discover on that bike that was different from this bike?
It absolutely sucked the whole.
But there was one more thing that we discovered. It was actually important. Remember we talked about the three big three things. Bubbles, color,
Debris.
debris. Thank you, Austin. What did we find in that bike?
Debris.
We found debris on the back brake. No bueno.
Why didn't we see
So-
any bubbles?
That's good, yeah. So,
Wait, no, we didn't find a ring. We didn't really find a. Yeah, we did find 5.
I saw a lot
We
of
found. We saw like just like.
well, we had bubbles on that side because the line was open too much.
Yeah.
So they can have a negative effect, okay? Because what happens is when we pump down, air comes out, right? When we pump back, it sucks it back in. So that's why we gotta make sure the hose is inside the bottle, sucking fluid in and not air. Okay? That's what's really important. We're not trying to suck air in. We're trying to suck fluid back in, but back out. We're trying to push out more than what we put back in. That's what we're trying to do. Yep, they ruin the entire rear brake system, and actually you can actually destroy it. If there's too much air in the system won't do something called prime. Okay? It's a word, it's very important. It actually works on a lot of things. Priming. In other words, preloading. Hey, when we prime something, we're loading something up. We're getting it ready for something. When you get new brake systems, like brand new master brake systems, we have to do something called bench bleeding. And we actually, on the next car we're going to be working on, the next brake system is that bus. Remember I told you guys we were supposed to do that last time. But there's not a lot of space for it, but when you guys come back again, I'm going to have the car on jack stands. We're going to have the brakes ready, and we're going to learn how to take off the brake booster and the brake master. And then we're going to learn how to bench bleed. Bench bleeding is priming. We're priming all the holes for liquid. Because you can't, on a car this old, you can't do that outside of the car. Like how we did it here. These let you do that because they're self-priming. They're allowed to have air put into it. That thing over there can never get air in the master cylinder or it'll just fail. It'll never make pressure, hydraulic pressure. Okay? You just lose the brake completely. No, because the system will not actually start sucking fluid. It won't do it. That's what we have to prime them to fill it up with fluid and not air. Once it has fluid in it, we have hydraulics. Once we have hydraulics, we have brakes. Simple as that. Okay? You introduce air, what happens to the brakes? No? Thank you, they get soft. When brake lines fail, what happens to them? They expand. Then what happens to your brake pedal? How does it feel?
It's squishy.
Same thing when you get air in the system. When fluid gets really old, okay, when it gets brown and ugly like that, it does the exact same thing. It gets squishy. It starts losing its hydraulic properties. Okay? That is why we did this today. We learned how to flush. We learned what hydraulic fluid does, aka .4 brake fluid. We learned how pistons work on the bike. How many pistons do these bikes have?
2.
On the... okay. How many pistons does this one have on the front?
2.
How do you know that?
2 circles.
Okay. How many pistons are on the back of the brake?
1.
Why? Okay. Who can point out the rotor on one of these bikes? No, touch it.
Right here.
Okay. That is a brake rotor. Who can point out the brake lever? On the front brake lever.
Oh, this.
Yep. Okay. The brake reservoir.
Right here.
Okay. Rear brake reservoir.
Right there.
All right. Front brake caliper.
Right here.
Good job. Rear brake lever.
Bad boy, right?
On this side, too. This
No,
side.
that's a clutch. I see that's a shifter. That's a shifter.
Oh, where's the clutch?
The clutch is over there on the left. But good job. All right. Why do modern bikes have ABS?
They don't come flying up.
No.
They don't swerve.
Keeps your bike and car into a control and a controlled stop. Old cars didn't have ABS. Motorcycles didn't have ABS. So when you floor it on the brakes, you go into a skid, which is not controllable unless you're learning how to drift. That's a whole different thing. Okay?
Different thing.
But my point is, ABS is to do what for you? It's to save something. That's right.
You're one life.
Your one life. Brakes are designed to do what?
Stop you.
Yes.
And also save your life.
That is its main purpose, is to save your life and to stop the vehicle. Life is number one. Remember that, guys. You only get one of them.
Yeah.
Once you lose it, game over. There's no repeat. There's no continue, no nothing. Okay? So how do you guys like today's class?
I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot.
It was so much fun.
I like the fact that you guys are separate.
I like the
Hey, maybe.
Did you notice you focused more?
Yeah, maybe me and you should work together.
That's fine. You guys did good. You too.
I found a secret keyhole.
But you guys did really well. What do you think it's for?
I'm just so reach over the dash.
That's right.
Well, obviously.
All right.
Daddy, you have 2 lives.
I got 2 lives on accident.
There's something that's safe.
I got lucky. I almost died
I
once.
can find
In December. That's a whole other story. But,
Why are you
we need my phone. Yeah, I gotta get it.
Team
Are you guys okay as a family as well as parents?
Yeah.
You okay with that too?
Okay.
Okay. You guys want to come all into here? Actually, I think back there. There's more space over there.
Yeah.
Careful, if we're bumping the table, we don't want to dump it. Okay. Oh, I'm fine, little guy.
Not little anymore.
Come on, go over there. All right, we're gonna do one with the kids first. Neo, to the left. More to the left. Get next to Victor.
What is going on?
All right. You guys are looking. 1, 2. All right, one more. There we go. Right there. 1, 2. Awesome sauce. All right, all the parents, please, with the kids.
With the
I do my hair.
with my kids?
You don't have to be with your kid, but you just have to be in the photo with the kids. You know, in the background. You guys are obviously the taller ones.
See in the background.
So hopefully next class, apparently we're gonna have more kids. If you guys, again, you guys can spread the word. I'm allowed up to 10 kids here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can get 4 more people to come. It'd be awesome. You got that? And if we spread the word, I will add Tuesday to the week of classes if you guys want to come for 2 days.
Yes.
More stuff
You guys are okay with that?
Yes.
Because that means we can push forward faster. And we can start learning how to we can learn how to tear apart turbos, which are super cool.
Turbos.
All right, we're gonna learn how to tear apart a turbo and put it back together. That's super cool. Remember, what's the final exam?
I'm building an engine.
We're gonna learn how to build a motor. That is the last thing we're gonna do on our class. Is literally put a motor together, and I'll put it in the car, and then I'll teach you guys how to wire it, add fueling, oil, cooling, and then fire it up. That's the last thing. We're learning how to put it all together and turn it on. And then possibly one of the parents might get a free car. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
I'm just saying.
Hard.
Just saying.
Go.
Mess this up.
Take it. Your little kiddo's getting near the end of his rope, so. All right, kiddo, look at the camera, dude.
Remember, the free car you get
The
is
camera,
mine
look at the
when I
phone.
turn 16. Yeah, that's safe for me.
Alright, maybe.
I need that.
I know. It's just something I gotta figure out.
I need that.
1. Okay, there we go. 1, 2. Look. One more time. 1, 2. Awesome sauce.
All right.
Don't move. Hey, don't wait. Hey, I gotta get in on this.
Yeah. You have to get it.
I
I want the
need
free car.
parents in it,
Can I have the free car? Wait, we could find.
Selfie
I could do
style.
it.
though. No. Wife! Come on.
You get
Yeah,
the
she's
free
not
car.
coming. She's watching money.
Okay.
My sister had to come then too. She's 4. Remember that? 16. You're sweet hot rod. You tried so hard. There we go. Just a bit. And I want a 4x4 truck. I have 16th birthday. Any type of truck.
Come on.
I want a truck. Then you can drink it. We'll do the funny voice.
No, first say what's up, and then you say bye in a funny way that you say it to the people when you go to the drive-thru.
There's a lot of different ones. I'm sorry, I'm not very specific.
Let's do one. Let's do one of them. A funny voice.
No, I'm gonna hold out on that.
Or do it like you used to do the stories.
All right, can I have one parent take a photo?
I want to know something.
The kids have to stay. The kids have to stay.
We are the most important.
Stay there now. Stay there in the group. And then, there we go. Let's sit down here. And we'll.
3, 2, 1. Smile. As he.
Perfect. All right, guys. Hold on. Let me say bye to everybody else who's watching. Deuces.
My sister sent